Welcome back to What We're Doing with Benji and Court. I'm Benji.
And I'm Court.
So we are here at the Grand Bahia Principe, El Portillo in Samana, Dominican Republic.
It's our first time here in Samana. We have been to a couple different resorts here in the Dominican Republic, but our first time here in Samana, and I would have to say that we are pleasantly surprised.
Mm-hmm.
It's being in the Dominican Republic and other places, we had, I don't want to say expectations, but knowing that we had been in other places than Dominican, we thought this would be very similar, but it is not. It is very, very different to the other places we have been in the Dominican.
So we landed on Saturday. Today's Wednesday. It's our fourth full day here, and we're really just taking it in. The resort itself is very nice. The beaches are top-notch. The food has been great.
Yep.
The service has been excellent.
And the rooms are wonderful. Like, they have all different villas, which is interesting. So we're staying in number 9. So I think there's probably 30. I think there's 30 different rooms in each villa.
I would think so.
Yeah, so about 10 each row, 3 rows. We are actually here with my family. So my parents are here, my sisters are here, and all my nieces and nephews are here as well. So they are all staying in a different villa just because of the way that we booked.
Yeah.
But it's nice that we are over here in number 9. We have a junior suite with a king-size bed. We're up on the 2nd floor. We have a nice little balcony. We're kind of in our sitting area here right now as we record. Big bathroom, a tub, which is amazing. I've already used the tub.
The tub has like the whirlpool jets in it, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah, and a little private shower and a little private place with the toilet.
But our balcony kind of backs off onto like a wetland area. I know there's been some pretty substantial rains here in the Dominican Republic in the last little while, so I'm not sure if this is normally a dry area, but it is quite wet just on the other side of the fence, our view from the balcony. And in the evening, it really lights up with activity.
Oh, yeah. I'm convinced there's a monkey back there that has been howling for the 4 days we've been here.
Yeah.
Lots of tree frogs.
Lots of tree frogs. I've heard what sounds like owls back there. Lots of wildlife. Inside and outside of the resort. When you're walking around the resort, you'll notice there's sort of like geese.
I keep calling them geese turkey ducks because they're black. I say, look at picture right here. We'll take a picture. They're black with like orange eyes, but they kind of look like ducks. So yeah, black turkey ducks, lots of stray cats.
There's kitties everywhere.
Everywhere.
Yeah, they don't really seem to be bothered by people. I think
No.
they're here more so for pest control.
Totally.
But yeah, there's a kitty on every corner.
And dogs all over the beach. And one was actually up on the resort last night, just making friends with people.
Yeah. Yeah, so there's a couple dogs. I don't know if they're stray dogs or whatnot. They seem friendly.
I was gonna say they seem friendly, clean, and quite healthy. Like the cats are a little skinny, but we have Canadian cats, right? They're fat.
Yeah.
But yeah, like they seem pretty healthy. Not too sure where they're coming from, but they don't seem to be bothering anyone really.
There's also a little pond right near the entrance of the resort that has some different types of fish in it, and there's one turtle, and I feel like people feed the turtle because as soon as you approach the pond, he swims over from the other side.
Yeah.
And he's kind of looking at you like, throw me some bread. Some of that good bread from the buffet.
Yeah, a few things that I guess are just more so our own personal liking. The TVs are small. So we have a big bed. The room is quite large. So when you're sitting back in the bed, the TV is quite small from where you are. Are we watching a ton of TV? No. But that is something I did notice is that the TV is small.
So in terms of villas, there's probably about 30 villas. You'll notice when you first come into the resort, you pass by all of the villas. They're on the left and right hand sides of the road. You go down and then there's the big lobby. So you get checked in there. And then beyond the lobby is where the pool's at. There's 6 bars on the resort. The buffet is just beyond the lobby. And then, of course, the ocean.
We flew right out of Toronto. We had flown into Samana, but when we got there, they gave us our bracelets for our resort right away, kind of saying that when we got to the resort, we couldn't check in until 3 o'clock, but they wanted us to go and have lunch. But our whole bus was going to the one resort. So we drove right from the airport, right to our resort, and that was it.
And that ride took about an hour.
But it was scenic. One thing that my dad had told me, I thought he was kidding, but I actually think he was telling the truth, was that Jurassic Park was filmed here, which I think is really interesting. You can tell, like, landscapes and the tall mountains with all of the greenery. It was quite a beautiful drive. And like I said, we got here and we went, put our bags away and went right to the buffet for lunch. So that was a really interesting experience. And I thought it was a little bit different than our previous vacations.
Yeah. The check-in process was very quick.
I was going to say, surprisingly, 3:00 check-in. We thought there'd be a big line. We were about 10 after 3, and it was smooth. It was seamless.
Yeah, the staff is incredibly nice, super helpful. So once you're checked in, they put your luggage up onto the buggy, and they'll drive you back up to your villa and take your luggage up and check you into the room.
Yep.
Yeah.
And one thing, I guess, a con, the resort is a little confusing. It's not kind of laid out the way that other resorts, in our opinion, have. You normally get a map. It tends to be pretty self-explanatory, but the first day we were here, Benj and I got like pretty heavily lost in the opposite side trying to find the kids' splash pad. But now that we've been here for a little bit, we obviously have our main areas, but there is a whole section of the resort that we haven't really gone to, only because it's just other villas. Once you've been here for a little bit, like I said, you kind of have your hot spots. There is one large pool that surprisingly is not very busy. This is very much a beach resort. The beach is beautiful.
The beach is pristine.
Beautiful. It is white sand, beautiful blue water. We have had unfortunate luck with beaches in the past where there's a chunk of seaweed and gunk that you can't really get through to get to the beach. Windy beaches, all of that. If you've ever been to Cuba, it is a Cuban beach. It is white sand, beautiful blue water, and it goes on for miles. You can just walk and walk and walk.
When you go down to the beach, on either the left or the right-hand side, if you just take a little walk, there's a security person there, and you can sign out and just continue walking down the beach. We've all taken a couple of walks down that beach, and it goes for quite a ways. There's like a little point you can see, like the first point you can see from the beach. They do like parasailing and kite surfing. They do kite surfing lessons over there. So it's pretty interesting. We took a walk over and just observed for a while.
Yeah, but they're all, once you kind of pass the threshold of the resort, it's all private villas, which is interesting, but there are security guards out there with rifles making sure that people aren't breaking into these private villas. But it is just another interesting piece of this resort that I think we've all found very, very cool and interesting, is that the beach is just, it's endless.
Yeah. So whether the security of patrolling, whether those are Airbnbs or like timeshares or anything, they're just patrolling like the property itself, but the beach is like fair game to anyone.
Yeah.
So you can walk on down the beach, you can pick your own private spot, and you've basically got the whole ocean to yourself.
Yeah.
Which is pretty wicked.
Yeah, so there's that one big main pool, but then there is a quiet pool, which is kind of behind our villa. And everybody else's villa, number 11, is actually facing, and they kind of surround the pool, and it's a quiet pool. I wouldn't say it's like overly like quiet, but it's definitely, people are respecting other people by more so reading. There's no bumping music over there like there is at the big pool. The big pool had a foam party and all of that, and obviously the quiet pool just did not. But yeah, two main pools. The beach is beautiful, and then there is a splash pad for kids, which we're also quite surprised about. The water is kind of just deep enough. Like I can sit and kind of lay in the water if I really wanted to. But there's slides. They had their own little foam party there yesterday. So my 2 9-year-old nieces and my 4-year-old nephew are just having the time of their lives.
Yeah.
One other thing that I would like to mention is the food. We have been at a handful of resorts, like I said in the past, and obviously the a la cartes tend to be the higher standard of food. At a resort, it tends to be kind of your order off menu type of dining experience, and you kind of get better food that way. But I'd have to say the buffet is amazing. I'm an at-home kind of person. I like the things I like, but there is a ton of options, and they're all so good. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Yeah, the buffet's been absolutely busting. There's different themed nights they do, like for the dinner. So last night was like Spanish themed. The night before was Asian cuisine.
This guy was stoked about that.
Yeah, it was fantastic.
Little spring rolls.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, the food has been awesome. I don't feel like I am hungry or thirsty or anything. Normally I'm itching to get home, or we kind of partake in the snacks at the the store that you can buy that again are more familiar to home. But I am quite pleased with the pizza and the poutine and all the potatoes and the chicken.
Yeah, and there's also tons of options for anyone really. So if you're vegan, if you don't partake in meat, you're not going to go hungry. You're
Right.
definitely covered. There's lots of like rice dishes
Oh, yeah.
and
There's, yeah, like I said, there's a different flavor of chicken every night with a mashed potato or a rice, fried rice, pizza, French fries. Like I said, there's even a poutine at lunch that I've been having pretty much every day.
yeah.
Yeah, I am not mad about the food at all.
Yeah. One thing that I think sets this buffet apart for me than other all-inclusive resorts is the bread. The bread has been phenomenal. There's
Yeah.
a wide variety of types of bread. And normally when you go to like an all-inclusive resort, it all kind of has that same
Yes.
taste.
Yes.
The bread is widely different. There's croissants, there's bagels, and
Rolls and
yeah, and it all tastes very good. There's even gluten-free options.
yeah, lots of options for anybody with, like Bench said, food sensitivities, food restrictions.
A lot of what you do at the resort, like a la carte, if you really need any information, there's QR codes all over the resort.
Yep.
So I'll do a little screen recording on my phone and show you that here. But this is how you would book your a la cartes. You can check your reservations. You can check out menus for the a la cartes.
Yeah, and actually make your reservations on there too. But what I thought was really neat, my dad went and made a few reservations for us as a big family, and they showed up on my app without me really doing anything.
Yeah.
So it's seems to be working properly and well.
Yeah.
It did have a weird date on it, I guess. Like it did say that like it was
It
a
was Saturday.
Saturday
We were
reservation.
going Sunday.
Exactly. But we had no issues going and checking in. We
Yeah.
had no issues doing that. So it does say 2 of our 3 a la cartes are taken. So again, it seems to be working properly.
Yeah, so we booked the Italian restaurant. We ate there Sunday night. The food was pretty good. It's set up where they drop a starter off for the table, and then you get an individual like starter,
Appetizer.
an appetizer, yeah, and then you would order your entree and dessert. You order it all up front.
Yeah, I would say the only reflection I have for there is the portions were quite small. So the starter was a bruschetta, but it was a single piece of Melba toast with bruschetta and one per person.
Yeah.
So and same with the starter. My starter was quite big. We had the same one, but it was a pasta. My parents had soup, which I think probably would have been the better choice. And then people's mains. I liked my main. I had the lasagna. It was good. He had the 4 cheese pasta, which is kind of like a fettuccine.
Yeah, it was almost like an Alfredo.
Yeah, which
it
was
very good.
But my brother-in-law got the pizza. It was a shrimp pizza, and there was no shrimp on it, so he
No.
didn't even eat it.
And the pizza was, I would definitely say, better quality in the buffet than in the a la carte. Which is,
Rare.
yeah, rare.
Rare. Not
I
our
would think.
experience. Yeah. But we are quite excited about the steakhouse. That's tomorrow night.
Yeah, we've booked the Brazilian steakhouse. You get 3 a la cartes that you can book over your stay. But you should definitely book them early because we booked 2 early, and then we were kind of contemplating where we were going to go for the third one because we've been going for these a la cartes with a larger group, and we want to go just
Just the 2
Courtney
of
and
us.
I. Everywhere's booked.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and honestly, there was none that I was itching to go to. When looking at the 2 or 3 that we didn't get a chance to go to, not really anything I'm missing out on, to be honest. But
especially considering the buffet is so good.
it's definitely giving this resort a ton more points, just knowing the type of food that they have, and it's been really appetizing and good for everyone, including the kids. They've found a ton of food that they like. We are here for the first time over Christmas. So it's obviously not Christmas yet, but being here the early part of December, they have been decorating for Christmas. So there's Christmas music playing.
3, 2, 1.
There's a big Christmas tree in the lobby. You can see here on the thumbnail us kind of in a frame of
Frosty the
Snowman. Yeah. But they've been decorating since we've been here, and it is kind of an interesting concept knowing that there's snow back home, but we're here on this beautiful beach resort and they're decorating for Christmas. So
We haven't had any issues with the air conditioner in our room.
No.
But some of the guests that we're traveling with, our friends and family, have had pretty significant issues with the air conditioner.
Mm-hmm.
That's taken multiple days to be resolved.
We talked earlier about there being some air conditioner issues for a couple of our family members here, but the hotel fixed it, maintenance went in, repaired the AC, and issued $80 credits to both rooms that were affected. So that's pretty good.
We're definitely not people who like to get our room cleaned when we're away. I say I'm a very private person. I don't like people being in my space and me not knowing what they've done in here. But the housekeeping has been great to just kind of offer us. Benj kind of came down with an armful of liquid today: water, beer, pop, extra towels, extra toilet paper. So I know we're probably not the only people that travel and like to kind of stay in our own space. We're the only one sleeping in that bed for a week, so I'm content with that. But they're here every day, very accommodating and offering if we would like to have our room cleaned or anything that we kind of need. Yeah, it's been really, really nice.
Yeah. So safety is always something you maybe don't consider in the forefront until you kind of get to a resort. So I will say there's a few access points to the resort. There's the main entrance where they have security posted, and I've seen security at both ends of the beach because you need to sign out if you're leaving, and they don't let just anyone in.
Yeah.
I have seen a few security personnel kind of patrolling around the grounds as well.
Yeah.
But we noticed when we checked into our room, the frame of the door appears to have been kind of kicked in. So I don't know what's the deal with that. If somebody kicked the door in, or maybe hotel staff needed into a room for some reason and couldn't get in with the key. I
want to preempt this by just saying I am a true crime junkie, so my mind goes there, unfortunately. But yes, the front door has that crack in it, and the back door handle is extremely loose, and it does look like somebody was trying to kind of jam something around it and kind of like damage the inside.
Yeah. So I don't know if that was like a break and enter or what, but you can tell that they've repaired the door, and the repair isn't as snug as it should be. So the door doesn't close the best. You need to be very cautious when closing the door to ensure it's actually closed.
Yeah. And again, I'm a true crime junkie, so I go there. There's spots that are kind of on the floor that I am convinced are human something.
Cut that.
Yeah, cut that. But yeah, other than those few things, it has been a phenomenal stay. We're very, very pleased, very happy. Been able to get chairs at the pool every day for all of us, tables at the buffet for the big group of us for breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Yeah, the staff's been extremely accommodating with a large group.
Totally. Yeah, so I really don't have any complaints. If anything, there are certain things that are above and beyond the resorts that we've stayed at in the past. The food being one of them, the size of our room being another, and the tub being kind of a third. The one thing, I guess, is in addition to the others that I've listed already, but the bathroom has this really cute, I think it's probably about 6 tiles worth of this iridescent type of window that is really beautiful in the evening, but in the morning it is extremely bright. So we have just come accustomed to making sure the bathroom door is closed so we can have a good night's sleep, because as soon as the sun starts to rise, it looks like there's like lights on in the bathroom, but it's just the sun peeking in when I am not ready to be awake on vacation.
A few other quick amenities that we've noticed around is there's free Wi-Fi just about everywhere on the resort. There is a safe in your room, so lock up your valuables.
Yeah.
There's a mini fridge in the room.
Yeah, and we like to partake in kind of buying a few snacks and stuff at the resort. They always have like a little convenience store. So we went there yesterday, and surprisingly their orange Gatorade is melon flavor, and I think that it's delicious. I love trying new things in different places. So a couple Gatorades, couple candy, very reasonably priced. So we're going to go back and get some more snacks tonight for our Squid Games challenge finale.
Yep.
Yeah, watching that while we're here. And again, that's a benefit of having the TV.
And the Wi-Fi.
And the Wi-Fi. We brought an HDMI cable to be able to kind of hook our stuff up to the TV, just to kind of give us that more homey type of feeling. Yeah. So other than that, halfway through, what are your thoughts?
Just about halfway through.
Out of 10.
Out of 10? Probably like an 8, like a pretty
Yeah.
high 8.
So
Yeah.
I was going to give it a solid 8.5, 9.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's definitely certain things, obviously, that are like we prefer an adults only. We don't have kids, but we are here with our nieces and nephew. But we kind of prefer not having kids around. It just makes for a more relaxing trip. But again, we are here with our family, so we're happy to partake with all the kidlets. Only having one pool also leads to kind of just there being not a ton of room for everyone, if that makes sense. Like being at our previous resort, Ocean Alfaro, go watch our other video. There was probably, I think there was 3 pools plus a kids zone.
Yeah, and they all had a swim up bar. The big main pool does have a swim up bar.
Yeah.
It can often be crowded. I've found 6 bars so far while venturing around.
Yeah.
There's often always a line, but the staff is very quick, very
Yeah,
helpful.
very helpful.
And they do get you through the line very fast, so you're not waiting that long.
Yeah, but it just kind of like there is certain individuals who prefer to kind of swim laps in the pool in the morning, and that makes it easier when there's multiple different pools to do that. There's just one big pool for everybody to kind of share. So there just has been a few of those things. You know, everybody's in the same place all the time.
Yeah.
But overall, for a family to come for a week, lots of things for the kids to do, lots of things for the adults to do. Food is great. Rooms are great. Resort isn't massive. Ocean Alfaro was massive. So to walk from one end to the other, it took a solid 10, 15 minutes. This is just a quick jaunt up the street. So
that's up the road.
yeah. So yeah, I would definitely highly recommend this resort if you have children or you're coming with a family. It's small. Everybody's really close together. Super accommodating for big groups. And the buffet is just, it's killer. It's great. Yeah.
So if there's anything that you want to know that we haven't covered in this video, please drop us a comment below and we'd be happy to see if we can answer it.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for tuning in and kind of giving a crap about our opinion about this resort. I think we're hopeful that this is going to be helpful for anybody who's looking to go to this resort. And again, like Benj said, ask any questions that you have. We'd be happy to answer them. We have had a lot of success with our Ocean Alfaro video. We feel like we've been very helpful and kind of encouraging people to ask the questions and actually go to the resort if they are super interested. And this is another one that we would highly, highly recommend to anybody who's interested. So ask below and we'd be happy to answer.
Also, do all those other YouTube things. Smash the like, hit subscribe, and share it with your friends.
Yeah, and we also will use this opportunity. We have an Instagram page, a Facebook page, and a Patreon. If you're looking for any kind of more content from us, not specific to any vacations, we do a lot of Pokemon, we do Lego, we do a ton of stuff, anything that we are doing, as you can see with our title, what we're doing with Bench and Court.
Yeah. We also have the What We're Saying podcast, which has just dropped over on Spotify.
What are you saying?
What are you saying?
What do you mean?
I don't know. I just think that...
Say it.
What you saying? 1 month early over on Patreon, but they do drop later on Spotify.
Yep, and all behind the scenes of these types of videos, we'll be talking more about this vacation and more about all the other stuff that we've been doing. So tune in. Check it out.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thanks so much.
Peace.
Peace.